Compasses and shit hit the fan. Do you need one? Do you not need one? Like, how important are they? We're going to talk about it today because I was chatting with one of my patrons, Andrew, about it. And I'm going to get into it, dudes. And I'm going to let y'all know that I am going to break from the status quo on compasses in this video. And those of you that have subscribed to the channel for a while, you know that I'm probably going to have some pretty good reasons why I'm going to break from the status quo. Now, am I telling you that your compass is absolutely worthless? No, I'm not telling you that, because there's a place for compasses, and there's a place for topographical maps, and there's a place for all that in Shit Hit the Fan if you have not prepped correctly. Okay? Now, some of you might be upset hearing that, because you're like, what do you mean? I have all this shit. I've been buying shit for 20 years. Like, I'm ready. I'm prepped. But there's more to it to that. There's more than just owning a whole bunch of shit, you know? Like, that's one thing that I kind of struggle with in regards to the prepper community, is that everyone's always like, I need more of this. I need more of that, you know? I need more compasses. I need more topographical maps. I need more reloading gear. I need more canned goods. And, you know, more stuff can certainly help make your life easy. And I know that there's that saying out there, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And I think that a lot of preppers kind of operate on that basis. But what most preppers, in my opinion, you might not be one of them, what they don't focus on is the knowledge that cannot be lost. It's the knowledge that cannot be taken away from you. Because a compass can be broken. A compass can be stolen. It can be frozen and crack. It can give you bad readings because you didn't realize it was a little too close to your rifle and a little too close to your knife. All right, so obviously there's skill. You have to invest time to be able to be highly effective at navigating using dead reckoning. So we've established that there's an investment in time. And in my personal opinion, to be an awesome navigator, you have to do it a lot. And most people just aren't going to spend the time doing it. So instead, what do? They get a book, a little booklet, like a field manual that tells them how to use dead reckoning navigation. And then they get a compass, and they get their ranger beads, they get their protractor and their maps, you know, one big map of their area. They never actually get out there and practice the skill. It's worth pointing out that an over-reliance on gear can lead to complacency. It can lead to complacency, guys, because humans, as a general rule, we get a feeling that there's something that we need to fill. There's a gap. There's something missing. And we know. And as a prepper or a survivalist, we're like, man, I don't know much about this area of prepping. Like, I need to know more about it. So they go out and they buy a book on canning. It goes on the shelf. Boom, they're done. They feel better. You know, by purchasing the book, it fulfilled that need to them. But they didn't actually practice the skill. They didn't actually learn how to can by memory. And again, just like a compass, books can be stolen, they can be lost, they can be burnt, they can be, they can get wet, and the ink can run. There's a whole bunch of things that can go wrong there, but once you have it inside your head, you can't lose it anymore. So that's kind of really where I'm going with this video. But before we get there, let's talk about what a compass actually does. Shh, my dog wants to play stick right now. Oh, okay, give it to me. One time. What does a compass actually do? Well, it enables you to shoot an azimuth. You could either just be standing on top of a hill and see like a forested valley and shoot an azimuth to the hill on the other side, because that's where you want to go, and you could just follow it to get there. With the right tools, you can take a reading off a map, transfer an azimuth over your compass, You have to obviously make some adjustments based on magnetic declination, stuff like that. But then you could go ahead and follow that azimuth on the compass. And if you do it right, it should take you to where you want to go on that map. Now we know what a compass can really do. So who actually needs one? The first type of person that needs a compass is an invader. Somebody going to a place that he does not know. He doesn't know the lay of the land. He's not familiar with it, right? He's going to have to navigate through areas that are unfamiliar to him. So he needs to have maps, he needs to have his navigation tools, and he needs to have that compass to use it to find targets, okay, to get around. The second type of person that needs a compass is someone that's lived in a specific area their entire life, but knows absolutely dick about the terrain around it. Again, so he's much the same as the invader, right? He's not familiar with the land. He doesn't know the lay of the land. He might know some highways, he might know some major roads, and might know some small roads around his house. But when it comes down to it, you put this person out in the country or even in the city, they don't know which way's up, down, left, right, north, south, east, and west. The third type of person that needs a compass is someone traveling through extremely overgrown areas, dense foliage, to a point where it's hard to see the sky. It's just going to be hard to navigate. Now, here's the thing. If you know the lay of the land like the back of your hand, you do not need a compass. You don't need a compass, dudes. My patrons know because I'm always out. Like, I've been out almost every weekend lately, hitting the dirt trails in this thing with my wife. Just trails I've already been down and taking new ones, even getting off the trails in it a bit, and just making sure that I'm extremely familiar with the area around the ranch. And my goal is to know an 85-mile radius extremely well. I want to know this area like John C. Fremont knew the West. I want to be able to navigate easily. I want to be able to do it without tools. And I want to have it committed to memory. And what is that? That's a prep. It's a prep. And in my personal opinion, guys, it is up towards the very top of the list. Because Murphy's Law is going to screw you in shit hit the fan. It's going to screw you, man. And that knowledge of this surrounding area, and I think I'm going to widen that to a 100-mile radius, that knowledge cannot be taken from me. Murphy's Law can't take it away from me. Like, once I have it, once I know where all the springs are, once I know where all the bodies of water are, once I know where the deer winter, once I know this and that and this and that and this and that, I just don't need a compass. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've been planning on doing some land navigation videos for a long time on this channel, and I lost my damn compass. Can't find it. And it's hard for me to want to go out and spend the money on another one because I do not use them anymore. I don't use them. And I just don't really feel that, for me, it's an important part of my kit. Now, you don't have to agree with me. Okay, I'm not telling you to throw your compass away. Go ahead and keep it. I think a lot of people, when shit hit the fan, are going to find themselves out there with their compass and their maps and their little waterproof notebook. And they're going to find that what these things really do for them is give them some extra weight to carry around. It can make sense. I know a lot of us have to work a lot of hours, like Americans, hardest working people in the world. It's not Japanese. It'll be a whole nother conversation for me to explain why. It's Americans. We put in more time than anybody else. So yeah, a lot of people have a hard time dedicating their spare time to go learn the lay of the land. But you have to dedicate your spare time to learn how to navigate with a compass properly. You know, it's like you got to do it no matter what you do, man. You might as well get out there with the wife and hit the back trails. Go walk them all. Know multiple routes to your bug out spots. Know multiple routes to places that you just might need to know how to get to. It doesn't have to always be bug out spots. That's another thing. Survivalists and preppers. Bug out spots. I have 3 routes to my bug out spot. Well, how many trails do you know from your bug out spot to alternate sources of water? And from your bug out spot to alternate bug out spots? And from your home to your alternate bug out spots, and then to alternate sources of water. Do you see what I'm getting at? The other thing is that you have to practice natural direction finding methods. Do you know where Polaris is? The North Star. Are you in the southern hemisphere? If you are, you need to know where the Southern Cross is. It's not hard to get a general sense of which directions are north and south, because we all know the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, right? How do you find the direction of south at night if you have a crescent moon, right? There's a crescent moon tip technique. You line up both tips of the moon, you just draw an imaginary line down to the ground, and that's roughly south. But from there, it can help you navigate heading north or heading east and west to a degree. There's the shadow stick technique for finding east and west. You stick a stick in the ground, you look at the shadow at the tip of it, you put a stone there, right? Then 15 to 30 minutes later, depending on what time of year it is, you put another stone where the new tip of the stick is, and that's going to show you east and west. Moss tends to grow thicker on the north side of trees. You can be in a forest, though, that's pretty wet and very shaded, and it's going to tend to grow pretty much the same all the way around. Find a tree that's a little more isolated from that, that's a little more out in the open, and it's going to give you a little bit better indicator of which direction's north. Deer trails often travel east and west. That's because the deer want to have the sun on them broadside to take advantage of that warmth, right? Snow melts off on southern-facing slopes faster than it does on northern-facing slopes. Like, there's a lot of natural signs out there that you can learn and you can use, and you should learn those, and you should practice them as well, because that's what? That's prepping. Final thoughts, guys, and we're going to wrap it up. Over-reliance on equipment leads to complacency, okay? And as a prepper, you have to make sure that you invest the time in skills that are going to matter and shit hit the fan, instead of just throwing more shit in a shopping cart and clicking the buy button. Okay? So I want to challenge all of you to get out there more, hit the dirt roads more. I've been doing it almost every weekend with the wife, going out and camping, even when it's shitty out. And I've been doing it to make sure I maintain that familiarity, and I get even better. Okay? I learn even more about this area because it's critical. To me, it's critical. It's a critical prep. And what you have in your head is definitely a part of the 80-20. It's the 20% that's going to produce 80% of the results for you in shit hit the fan. That's it. I'm going to leave it right there. Comments down below. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on it? Obviously, compasses do have a place. But I just don't feel that they're going to be as useful as you thought they were, especially if you did your homework on your area of operation, making sure you know it. Like the video, share it, subscribe, check out my Patreon, link down in the description. Tons and tons of extra content there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep prepping. Keep getting ready.